from Europe, and the pilots have not responded to the FAA, so they're trying to find out if those two planes may be in trouble. Also, law enforcement sources are telling us, and this is interesting, that there was word put out through an Arab newspaper about 3 weeks ago that bin Laden himself, the mastermind behind the East African bombings, the embassy bombings there in East Africa, that he apparently did put out word about 3 weeks ago saying that he was planning an unprecedented attack against U.S. interests. Since that time, they got other information that there may be some sort of attack against U.S. possibly governmental facilities. And then, as we know, on Friday, the State Department did put out a worldwide caution, basically telling U.S. Citizens and also particularly government and military officials that they should be in a heightened state of alert. But I will tell you, from talking to law enforcement sources, I talked to them minutes after the two planes rammed into the World Trade Center building this morning, the Twin Towers, that they were very stunned, that they said, look, we had gotten word that there may be some sort of attack, but we had no idea it was going to be on U.S. soil, no idea that it was going to involve airliners and so forth. I will tell you also, law enforcement sources do know that Osama bin Laden, right now, they believe he's sort of the prime suspect. They have no idea who's behind this, but they are looking at him because they do say that he and his men did a lot of training. In fact, where they did practice hijackings, where they did have pilots who were on their staff, and in fact, we had reported earlier that 3 people involved in the East African bombings were actually pilots, and that's sort of part of their training, and they get some of that in Afghanistan, also Iran, and a number of other countries. So this is sort of part of their training to prepare for something like this. But law enforcement sources are telling me, and these are intelligence officials, that they were really stunned by today's development.
All right, Rita, thank you very much. It's worth perhaps also adding to this, John Scott, that the North American Air Defense Command, NORAD, is controlling the U.S. aircraft that are in the air, including those that are escorting Air Force One. So you get an idea from that just how seriously this threat is being taken by the U.S. military. Back to you in New York, John Scott.
All right, Britt Hume, thanks.